Welcome back. Today we will be talking about the product rule. So the quick way to understand is right to left plus left to right. So keeping that thing in mind, let's try question number 3 and 6. So what I like to do, I really identify what is right and what is left and then start finding the derivative. So as you can see, I kept the right function and took the derivative of the left function. Now I will keep the left function and I will find the derivative of the right function. Now after this is just the algebra. You just have to distribute everything. So calculus is not hard. What is hard is doing the algebra correctly. So be careful when you distribute. You will get 16x to the power of 5 minus 8x cubed, then plus, and I would like to write in the parentheses, plus 8x to the power of 5 plus 12x. And then let's simplify everything. So my final answer will be 16x to the power of 5 minus 8x cubed plus 8x5 plus 12x. But we can combine the like terms, x to the power of 5. So 24x to the power of 5 minus 8x cubed plus 12x. So remember, the rhythm for product rule is left to right plus right to left, or you can do the either way around. Instead of doing left to right, you can also do right to left first. Let's try question number 6. Question number 6, be careful because in the left term, we have x to the power of negative 3. Remember, when we have a negative exponent, how to deal with the negative exponent? A to the power of negative m will be 1 over a to the power of m, right? So keeping that thing in mind, so I will take the derivative and then I will keep the left term as it is. Now take the derivative of the left term and keep the right term as it is. So just for the practice purpose, it is always a good idea to color code them if you can, so that you know which derivative you are taking. Now remember, we have x to the power of negative 3. So when you distribute, keep that thing in mind, that negative exponent will go in the denominator, x to the power of 3 in the denominator. Then we have another negative exponent to the power divided by x to the power of 4. Then one more distribution, negative 9 x to the power of 4. Now let's simplify it. But let me write the property again for the exponent. If we have a negative in the denominator, it will go up. If we have the negative exponent in the numerator, it will go down in the denominator. So coming back to the question, and let's simplify, combine the like terms. We will get 36x squared. Now x squared and x cubed, I can cancel it out. And then we will do the same thing with the another number. We are getting negative 12x plus 12x minus 9 divided by x to the power of 4. At this point, you can cancel out negative 12x and plus 12x, and then you will be left with only 36x squared minus 9 divided by x to the power of 4. So don't oversimplify things, but do what is required. Now let's try one more problem. Question number 10, it is a little bit more intense because it has uh, many parts to it. We have the radicals here and we have the exponents as well. So a little bit careful when we are, can I rewrite the radical in terms of exponent? So we can rewrite the radical x to the power of 2 and we have the fifth root. So I can say x to the power of 2/5. Writing in the terms of x to the power of n will make our life easier to find the derivative. And we can apply the power rule a little bit easier. Remember, what is the power rule? Drop n minus 1. And we did the same thing. I took the derivative for the right first, and we are keeping the left as it is. Now, we will take the derivative of the left and keep the right term, that means 2x cubed plus 4 as it is. But when we are taking the derivative of the left, go slow. So first is negative 20x, now negative 7 times 2 to the power of 5 because you are dropping in. Now x squared. Now x squared is nothing but 2 to the power of 5. So 2 to the power of 5 minus 1 will give you negative 3/5. Be careful with the fractions. Now let's rewrite it again and clean up the equation. So after this, we can say plus 2x cubed, and we can distribute with 2x cubed with the whole entire equation. So I will get negative 40x to the power of 4 minus 28 over 5 x to the power of negative 3/5. Let's rewrite it again. X to the power of negative 3/5 plus 5, because I can combine those two terms together, the x's together. And then minus 80x and minus 56x to the power of negative 3/5 over 5. So be careful with the fractions in the exponent as well. Let's combine the like terms. First distribute 6x squared. So it will be negative 60x to the power of 4 minus 42x to the power of, we are multiplying it, yes. And then we have 12/5 and then 54x squared. Why we got 12/5? Because a to the power of m times a to the power of n, we are adding the two powers together. And when we are adding the two powers together, we are using the principle of adding the fractions with unlike denominators. Let's keep on simplifying the fraction. At this point, I can combine negative 60x to the power of 4 and negative 40x to the power of 4, and then 42x to the power of 12/5 with negative 28/5 to the power of 12/5. So your answer will be, excuse me. So I will be getting negative 28 divided by 5 to the power of 12 over 5 minus 56 over 5 to the power of negative 3/5. And then I can write plus 54x squared minus 80x. Now be careful with combining the like terms. When you combine the like terms, remember we have negative 42x and negative 28. So we are making the common denominator. That's how you will solve the fraction. So you will get a negative 238 because we made the common denominator. And then we have negative 56. We can write negative plus 54x squared first, and then minus 80x, then minus 56 divided by 5x to the power of negative 3/5. Why I wrote negative 56 over 5x to the power of negative 3/5 in the last? Because so that it can be in the standard format. And because it is negative 3/5, so 3/5 will go down with the x. So this will be your answer. Question number 10 is a little bit more complex. So go slow, write everything minutely, and keep checking your work. if you write your work neatly and precisely, it is easier to check. So the last question that I would like to discuss is the critical thinking question. In this, you need to prove that the classmate's claim is wrong. So for that, let's take f function as 2x and g function as 4. So let's evaluate what is f times g prime. So f times g prime, I can write it down as 2x times 4 prime, which is 8x prime. Now let's evaluate them separately. What is f prime and g prime, and then we can multiply. So f prime is 2 and g prime is 0. So f times g prime is 8, but f prime is 2 and g prime is 0. If I multiply f prime and g prime, you are just getting 0. And as you can see, 8 is not equal to 0. So this is how I can prove that the classmates claim that the two are equal. It is not correct.